လူလောကကြီးမှာလူရည်လို့ဖြစ်လာပြီဆိုရင်အခြေခံဒီကပြည့်စုံပြီးတော့လူပြီးသားကိုလူလိုစိတ်ထားတတ်ဖို့လူတည်ဉာဏ်ဖြစ်ပြီးတော့လူတည်ဉာဏ်လေးရှိပြီးတော့လူတက်လူဖြစ်ဖို့အရေးကြီးဆုံးပဲဆိုတော့ပြောရပါတယ်အခုသတိပဋ္ဌာန်ဘာဝနာတရားတွေအထုတ်တယ်ဆိုတာအဲ့ဒီလူမျိုးပါပဲလူပြီးသားလို့ဆိုတာအင်္ဂါရက်တွေပြည့်စုံလာပါလေတကယ်ကြောင်းကျိုးစစ်မှန်တရားတွေဘုရားကိုယ်ဝိသိဉာဏ်နဲ့လက်ခံအကြည့်ပြုတဲ့ခံယူချက်ယုံကြည်ချက်အကျိုးပဲဖြစ်စေတတ်တဲ့ဟာရဲ့ရှက်တွေကိုရှောင်ရတဲ့တတိအကျိုးရှိရာတွေကိုသူ့ဉာဏ်နဲ့သူလိုရတဲ့တတိဒါလည်းပဲဒီလူပိသားရဲ့အတွက်ပေါ့ဒီကြီးရဲ့စိတ်ပဲတစ်ခုပဲတန်ဆိုင်ဆုံးမိမိဒီမှာအဖြစ်ဆိုးတွေမရောက်ရအောင်လို့ကာကွယ်ရေးခေါ်တဲ့တတိဒါဒီကောင်းလို့အရေးကြီးပါတယ်ဒီမိမိရဲ့စိတ်ကလေးကိုထားရမှာတင့်တော်ရဲ့နေရာထားရမှာစွစွစီစီလေးဖြစ်ဖို့တကယ်အမှန်တရားကြီးအခြေခံဆိုပြီးတော့စိတ်တည်ပြီးတော့ဒီပေါ်မှာမိမိလှုပ်ဆောင်ချက်ဒီပေါ်မှာကျူးရှိတည်တဲ့ရှင်းဆိုင်တဲ့အတိအညာရှိဖို့ဒါရတဲ့ရည်ကြီးပါတော့အဲ့ဒါကိုပါဠိလိုဣန္ဒြိယဆိုပါတယ်ဣန္ဒြိယဆိုတာသုံးဖို့အုပ်ချုပ်မှုသုံးဖို့အုပ်ချုပ်တော်တရားလို့တနည်းအားဖြင့်ကိုယ်လည်းသုံးဖို့အုပ်ချုပ်ရမှာစွမ်းရည်တရားတွေစွမ်းရည်ရှိရမှာအစွမ်းရှိတယ်ကိုယ်မအုပ်ချုပ်နိုင်ဘူးစွမ်းအားလို့လည်းဆိုပါတယ်စွမ်းအားတရားတွေလူတရားထုတ်တယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒါတွေလုတ်ပြီးတဲ့သဘောပါပဲဒါတွေပြုလို့ရမှာဘုန်းကြီးတို့တွေကရှင်မျိုးအရေးချာလေးကိုကြကြနဲ့တော့လုတ်တော့ဆိုပြီးတော့မြတ်စွာဘုရားအလိုတော်ကြနဲ့မြတ်ကြောက်မာဇီဆရာတော်ဆရာကြီးဩဝါဒတော်အတိုင်းအခုကြီးပေးနေတာပါယောဂီတွေကြီးကဘာမှညှို့နေတာမရှိပါဘူးယောဂီတွေစိတ်ဆက်ဆက်အားထုတ်ပြီးတော့ကိုနိုင်ရင်းနဲ့အစွမ်းရည်တတိရှိသွားရင်ကျင့်တတ်ပါဘူးဝိသလာပါဘူးကျူစာအထုတ်ကြပါ
In the human world, if we are born a human being, then the most important thing is to possess basic sila so that we be true human beings and to have the ability to keep our mind the way a human should keep it, to have a humane mentality. And although we have human intelligence, to develop special human knowledge. Sayadawgyi has been speaking about that. And the practice of Satipatthana Bhavana, as the yogis are doing now, is for doing this. So there are powers of mind. The faith and confidence regarding the mind and matter, which are really there, related as cause and effect. And having the courage to avoid what is not good to do or say, having the courage to undertake what is good to do or say. This is the most important factor in being a true human being. And then there is the preventive power of sati, which keeps the defilements from overwhelming our mind. And the ability to collect one's mind on the object, on what is suitable. The ability to develop knowledge stage by stage, and the ability to weigh what is beneficial or not, what is suitable or not, before one undertakes something. These 5 qualities are called indriya in Pali. And indriya means ruling faculty. They are the abilities, the powers that are needed for one to control oneself, for one to master oneself. They bring about this capability for a person. And so that the yogis can develop these powers completely, to develop them fully, Sayadawgyi is helping the yogis by explaining what the Buddha taught according to the instruction of the most venerable Mahasi Sayadaw. He doesn't expect anything from the yogis. He'll be quite happy and satisfied if you all develop the abilities to master yourself. So please try.
Good dear, Indri Mimi Jisu Nade, so are you going to kill Atoyama? The show Lord say by lady. Your yenny or a cheetah brother. Send ya well chum the world. The show never teach and no article. And your yen at Tilly Jackasia or low. Me pay over there. It are in a dear bedroom. Bojjangas, a new Bojjangas Daya. Bojjangas the body and God. Body and God the body to the. It's a liver. Tidon young your. It's a liver to the. See it from the. See it from the. See it, see it, Mandia. See me that you joke, King of Mandia. Leave you sure. I leave you, maybe Tanama. Paisha, this is a liver. Do what this our Paisha, to me at this are a prayer. You know that this our. They pay it, never give it. Never give my law. Again, land say, care. Steep side was this year, the year, size year, side was a poor. To air the fear lower. The Indian. Ingaro, body Ingaro, Saint Bible, and God cover. You know, Bojjangas, this is a liver, ဒီသောဉာဏ်ရဲ့အစိတ်ပိုင်းနေတဲ့ဒီအဓိပ္ပာယ်ရောက်ပါတယ်သစ္စာလေးပါးအခုလိုအားထုတ်လို့ရှိရင်ယောဂီကသိတော်တာပါပဲအဲဒီသိတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကိုဘောဓိလို့ခေါ်ရတယ်သစ္စာလေးပါးသိသူတဲ့ဒီမျိုးအဓိပ္ပာယ်ယူပါတယ်အဲဒီသစ္စာလေးပါးသိသူရဲ့အကြောင်းတရားကိုအလကားတော့ရတော့မဟုတ်အကြောင်းတရားရှိရတယ်အဲဒါအင်္ဂါခေါ်ပါတယ်ဘုဇင်ကသစ္စာလေးပါးသိသူရဲ့အကြောင်းတရားလို့ဆိုပါတယ်ကွာဒီတော့ဘောဓိညာရဲ့သစ္စာလေးပါးသိသောညာရဲ့အစိတ်ပိုင်းသစ္စာလေးပါးသိသူရဲ့အကြောင်းတရားအဲ့ဒါလေးကိုတိတိလျော့ပတ်စွာဖြစ်စေတဲ့အကြောင်းတရားလေးတွေရှိပါတယ်အစိတ်ပိုင်းလေးတွေအဲ့ဒါဒီနေ့စာတွဲနဲ့လက်တွေ့ပေါင်းစပ်ပြီးတော့ရှင်းပြပါမယ်
Meditation practice is for creating the indriyas and developing them, for creating in our beings the factors which can give us the ability to master ourselves. And sometimes one's factors are weak. This can happen. Sometimes too, so when some factors are weak, it's as though like when a wheel is loose, when something is too loose. And sometimes some factors are too tight. So there needs to be balance. They need to be just right, like wheels. So Sayadawgyi explained the meaning of the word Bojjanga. Bojjanganansa anupawatanato. Bojjanga is a word that means, in English it's usually translated as the factors of enlightenment. It is the factors or component parts of the knowledge which is able to see the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths are, first of all, the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the path of practice, the truth of the path of practice by which one realizes the cessation of suffering. So one needs to know the truth of suffering within one's being. One needs to discern the truth of suffering by observing one's being, and one needs to dispel its cause. One needs to realize the cessation of suffering, nibbana, and develop the path of practice leading to it. So there's these four things to be done. One needs to know, dispel, realize, and develop. The word bodhi-anga is made up of bodhi and anga. So the word anga means the factors of the knowledge that is able to know the Four Noble Truths, the factors of enlightenment. So bodhi-anga is combined to make bojjanga, meaning the factors of the knowledge which is able to know the Four Noble Truths, the factors of enlightenment. And if one practices systematically, then yogis come to know. They come to know the Four Noble Truths. And a person who has this knowledge is also called Bodhi. So this is another meaning of Bodhi. It not only means the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths, but it also means the person, the one who knows the Four Noble Truths. Knowing the Four Noble Truths does not come about for nothing, doesn't come about without a cause. And so the word anga means the causes for it means cause, so as well as factor. So bodhi anga means the cause for a person to come to know the Four Noble Truths. So it has Bojjanga has these two meanings. The factors of enlightenment, the factors of the knowledge which can see the Four Noble Truths, or the causes for a person to know the Four Noble Truths. So today Sayadawgyi will explain what are these factors in terms of theory and practice.
Lokama Peru Yomusu Boli Yayabu Chichi, Usayabu Chichi What is the need to look at it, look at it. The family on the garments were a receiver. Jarema can tell you the 2 years about it. Look at the piece of the Usually, look at it, you are level for them. Sika Sony Vanisha and Lever, you manage that Chima Moko, who can the other will be city, a solid tapper. Chow knew your fit about it. Galover, the center from you, demon, you or Kubo, Sentan Piti, and Nilan Shidonia. Mamma Kangane, Judah, Melo. See the Logan Chita, they see about it. The Karagastika so nearly Lucy and Lever 10 people who would up about it. The Karagalever Lucilis Sanaria Solono City at Tetua Widow. I'm surely that the Shiva. As a little soldier, the one city take you, I'm sure everybody cheated Kama Buddha, Lydia, body. Constantia, the young Chini, Jimiro, Pukin Pay about it. And a Pukin and Lily, who delay second bit of your mama.
Whatever we do in the world, whatever work we do, whether it's to gain an education or to make a living, when we do things to benefit our lives, we can't achieve success all at once. And sometimes, although we're working, we haven't yet seen the results. And the mind starts to doubt and then back off. For various reasons this can happen. When we're working to try to develop the knowledge, to develop knowledge and the mind, although one is trying, sometimes things don't come about as one expects. And sometimes the mind just backs off and becomes lazy. Sloth and torpor set in. Sometimes one has a lot of desire to achieve. One has excessive zeal. So the mind becomes overly zealous. The mind becomes too active, too, anxious about achieving. And then too, the mind slips off the object. The mind no longer is accurate. So when these types of things happen, the meditation teacher has to look at the yogi's situation and help them to fix it. And Sayadawgyi will talk about how to do this today.
Guru Tia Atu Sema Pamutuasa Lili Podumia Ayori Kitu Chiselima Yudi Siri Sasa Atu Hideka the Karakama Lina Sita Savani to so the secretary Tete Machine. To do the secretary Chilla, the solution to Naga Kotisa, Lupita, Kotisa, Sessia, Kauna, Atia. The near says, Kauna, Atia. It is being a Nogan capital Lega. The children, Palumia or Lega. Libya showed me the Shiva. The children, the great jury who do love you, think I take your room, I see in the surely the Shiva at the moment. The deeper guitars provided. A deeper guitars were Lura for Viro Seco, Hitting Dara. Your Mantara, Quinjama Chifenation. That the deeper guitars said the Chilicia level. Odessa, Lupita, Ayomasiga, Kuahani, Makato. Kind of chipper. As a gentleman and look over it. That two are from the door. Lugina said the Pitan or G. Super on a super decision, Makato in it. Kuahani, as a cheetah brother. A little Kanyuma. Below say Bani, lonely as Ravoli. Bali cheap here, Mr. Ravoli. That I will look at the wall of it. Pussy Granasa. A new Podana Tire. This is a liver Tigonia, say Bani. Say Bainova, Leos of Kissy Jimson. The near level, this is a liver Tidu yet. A chow in my road. There was a piece of Jim Shen, who better than Yango. Piece of Zia, piece of Atua, to look Madame Shiva.
As now, while meditating, when one tries to observe every arising object, starting with the rising and the falling, practicing with respect, constancy, meticulous care, sometimes the mind becomes retracted. This is called lina chitta, the mind that is not active. It withdraws. And what follows this retracted mind, this withdrawn mind, is kosaja. It is said, dina chittang kosajanupatitang. That kosaja is despicable laziness. It's very blameworthy. And the mind, this follows the mind that is retracted. This type of extreme laziness, when the mind withdraws, then this kosaja follows, and sometimes one can't remove this extreme laziness, and sometimes people give up at this point. And sometimes one is really eager to achieve in the practice, and the mind is overactive, overly eager. This is called atipagahita. And this type of mind is followed by udicca, where the mind is no longer with the object. It becomes separated from the object. So the mind is no longer able to observe the object accurately, with accurate aim. So what is it that the mind needs at this time? It is said, Bojjanganancha anupavutanato. That means that by balancing the factors of enlightenment that, how should I say, either the factors, how should I say, I'm trying to go back to what Sayadawgyi said. Right, that this retracted mind or the overactive mind, it has to be corrected by bringing about a balance in these Bojjangas, which are the factors of the knowledge which knows in the Four Noble Truths, or the factors of a person who knows the Four Noble Truths. So this is what is said in the text. By doing this, by balancing out these factors of the Bojjangas, then Vipassana knowledge is brought to completion.
Kaya Vedana Siddha Dhamma Kore Shukwe Ayunega Atite Bola Shuka Kari Bora Makyamana Swameswa Shumate Tati Sambosin. Ne Dhammavichya Sambosinga Editiyare Tinyane the Baba, Tinyama, at Dhammavichya Samosin. Yoye, Naya, Joye, Joye, Savoli, Titi, Dora, Dhammavichya Samosima for the Titi Piate, Tinyani Piate, Niera, Kuneta, Namako Pene, Chupa, Atote, Uria, the Uria Samosima for Juba Atotala, Kilita Puri, Kinana Kenura, Yonana Yodara. There are Pasati Samboji Maluka. Uria, Epasadi, Piti, Magalia, Congo, Atulia, Sense, Kinala, Tinila, Solution. Did they aya your shenet the bow? Piti Samojinga cover. And now my Pasati Samojinga. For the Via Ayuma, secret the Kanakana Sese Jabara. Somebody Samojinga cover. No, Madi Rokona solution, leaking the Yaro. They answer Yabene. Bevies was seen in it, Demas was shooting it. Ubuga Sambojinga Sambojinga Kunamio, a 2 hours solution, Pusentia Kunamio. Buddha Saga Kotava. Any Bojjanga Kunamio, did the words of Pisi Champion, Uniana the Wally, Pisi Champion, Waterman Yango, ပြည့်စုံစေရမယ်တဲ့ပြည့်စုံအောင်အထောက်အထုတ်နိုင်တယ်တဲ့ဒီလိုဆိုလိုပါတယ်
There are 7 Dhammas which are called the Bojjangas. And the first is Sati Sambojjanga. That is the ability to observe every arising object of kaya, vedana, chitta, dhamma, of the body, feelings, consciousness, and other objects. Within those large fields of observation, observing the arising object time and again. This is Sati Sambojjanga. And then second is Dhamma Vicaya Sambojjanga. That is the quality of knowing these objects. Knowing not mind and matter. Knowing cause and effect. And there always needs this effort, courageous effort. This is the third, Virya Sambojjanga. Effort to develop knowledge without regard for life and limb. Courageous effort. The fourth is, Sayadawgyi started by saying passaddhi. The fourth quality is piti. When we have good noting, then time and again the noting is good, so one feels satisfaction with what one is doing, and this is piti. And following on that, to that extent, there is the kilesas die down, and one feels tranquility, which is passaddhi. And then samadhi sambojjanga. That is when the mind falls collectively on every arising object. And later on, then one is able to observe with balance, with equanimity. And this is upekkha sambojjanga. So the Buddha spoke about these. And by bringing these about in a suitable way, by balancing these factors, then one is able to develop and bring vipassana knowledge to completion.
Piti Samboje Bojjangas Ayomeni Bodi. Tali Sinjinya Bade. Hello, Secretary of Piamkyo, Tete to the Chitra Bade. Your Yaya isn't a king, Seiko Puta Bade. Buddha Sara Viriya Baba Viriya Tadipsama Sotha Baba Atapi Suravati Atapi Buddha Where do you go? Is it here? Is it into the Messiah? A Buddha being taken to the sea, take off, look like the lower. Who are allow a jury. Don't let me see if you don't take to take out here. Who will fit all is it of here? Take your child. Let's say I hope could be about it. Probably was a border eye, the Wawa lady, dear. See, such a body. Sure, the young poor. The eye drew a poor little, he, she be the poor solution. For that, Pasati Samboche. Piti Samboche. Uriya Samboche, Jamosia Samboche. Eddie Toma, Alcohol, the Alcohol, Luci, Epona. Sunday, your lady, Yamido, Tini Mamma, lady, Killer Tapare.
Sometimes when doing something, because one hasn't gotten results yet, for one reason or another, one hasn't seen the results that one wants, and what can happen is the mind backs off. It becomes slack for some cause or another. And then this despicable laziness comes into the mind. At this time we need the factor of piti, joyous interest. We need to take an object that is delightful. This quality of joy will help the mind when it feels sluggish. When the mind retracts, we need to heat it up, and the heat that we apply is the heat of mental energy, virya, as called atapa, ardent effort, in the Satipatthana Sutta. Ardent effort is needed in any task. One shouldn't be sluggish or slow about doing something. We need to wake the mind up and make it more active. And one way to do this is to reflect on the benefits of the task that we're doing, so that the mind won't be slack. The teacher also has to help with this in encouraging the yogi, pointing out how to correct the problem. And when we are observing the rising and the falling, we are doing this. As we do this practice, observing the rising and falling and other objects which arise in order to come to see their true nature, we need to have constant practice for knowledge to arise. So one has to, when the mind is retracted, one needs the factors of enlightenment which are energizing. The factor of piti, joyous interest, or the factor of effort, virya, ardent effort, or the factor of Dhamma vidya, which is sometimes called investigation. It's a form of knowledge. And with these factors, the slack mind becomes energetic and strong again.
Mandam Pumasi living over take good Lugile Sandari Yari Nene Uriari Lugeda Pare Uriari Lugero Almansi Macafena Chipi Nita Pare. That is a deeper Gita Seiko. Luatari Pudora. လိုအပ်တဲ့ပိုးတဲ့ကျုံးရဆက်မှုတွေများလာရင်ကျုံးရဆက်ပြီးဖတ်ရတဲ့အာရုံမှာစိတ်ကမကတ်တော့ကွာဟနေတယ်လွတ်ဆင်သွားတာမျိုးလည်းရှိတယ်အဲဒီအာရုံနဲ့မသိနဲ့မကတ်တဲ့ကွာဟတဲ့ဥပ္ပစ္စသဘောကနောက်ကနေလိုက်လာတာပဲအဲဒါသူရှိနေသေးလို့ရှိရင်တော့မမိသမျှမှတ်သမျှအာရုံလေးဘယ်တော့မှမကတ်ဘူးပြည့်မှုတွေဖြစ်လာတာပဲအဲ့ဒါလို့ဘာဝနာစိတ်ပြည့်မှုဖြစ်လာပြီးပြည့်မှုတွေဝင်လာလို့မကတ်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်နဲ့ပစ္စတိသံဝစိစိတ်ကလေးအေးအေးထားပါတဲ့ကျုံနဲ့စိတ်တရားတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုပြီးတော့စိတ်ကလေးလျှော့အေးစစ်စစ်လေးမှဟာပါအဲ့ဒါလိုပါပဲတီးငြိမ်ငြိမ်လေးမှတပြီးတော့ဝိရိယမလုပ်ပဲသေးနဲ့အေးစစ်စစ်လေးမှရမယ်တီးငြိမ်လေးမှရမယ်တက်တော့တက်တာလေးမှပြည့်မြတ်သွားဖို့ဒီမှာအဲ့ဒါလိုလုပ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရဲ့ငါကစိတ်ကြီးတက်ကြွနေတာဟာအရှိန်ကြီးကြပြီးတော့သူ့အနေနဲ့သူကိုယ်ကြဖြစ်သွားနိုင်တယ်အဲ့ဒါကအဘုဇင်တရားတွေကိုလျော်စွာဖြစ်စေခြင်းဆိုတာဒါပြောတော့ပါပဲစိတ်တက်တဲ့ရော်ရဲစိတ်တက်ကြွနေတတ်တဲ့အင်္ဂါဖြစ်ရမယ်စိတ်ကြီးတက်ကြွနေလို့ရှိရဲ့သူ့ကိုနိုင်ရင်းနဲ့ဘုဇင်တရားတွေပေါ်ရမယ်ဒီမှာဒီတတိတဝုစင်ကတော့အရာရာတိုင်းမှာသူကပါပါတယ်သူမပါလို့မပြီးပါဘူးရှင်းမြစားမပါလို့ရှိအရာသာမရှိဘူးလို့ပုတ်ဖြစ်ဖြစ်တယ်လို့ပြီးတော့အလောတော်လေးစားလေးထည့်ရပါတယ်ဒီမှာသူကတော့အမြဲတမ်းပါရပါတယ်သူကတော့အတိကျပြီးတော့လုပ်လို့မရပါဘူးအဲ့ဒါလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘုဇင်ခုနှစ်ပါးကိုသူ့အများသူကြည့်ပြီးတော့အလုံးလုံးလို့ရှိရဲ့အညီအမျှဖြစ်လာတော့ပဲအဲဒီအညီအမျှဖြစ်လာလို့ရှိရင်ဝိပဿနာဉာဏ်ဆိုတာဖြစ်လာတော့တာပါပဲပြည့်စုံလာတော့တာပါပဲ
When one doesn't just want the Dhamma in an ordinary way, but really, really wants it a lot, when one has a lot of chanda or zeal to gain the Dhamma, then one's virya, one's effort, can go a little bit too much. It can become a little bit excessive. And when that happens, the mind can no longer stay with the object. This is called atipagahita. It means the mind has too much, too active, too overly concerned. So the mind becomes separated from the object, and then what follows is odicca. The mind becomes scattered. And when odicca is present, then the mind cannot note anything at all. It just cannot be with any type of object. So, if the scattered mind has arisen, then one needs the factor of passaddhi or tranquility. One needs to calm the mind with tranquility. There's no need to be so concerned. One can just calm the mind down. One has to note in a calm way, without using much effort. And one needs to have a balanced, equanimous view towards what happens. One has to have these three factors of tranquility, or samadhi, or upekkha. These are calming factors. And when these factors are brought into when these factors are created, when these factors are boosted, then the mind's over-energetic quality of the mind, it'll automatically reduce, and the mind will be able to be with the object once again. So this is what is meant by balancing the factors of enlightenment, balancing the Bojjangas, or bringing them about in a suitable way. If the mind is retracted and lazy, then it needs to be energized with the factors of piti and virya and Dhamma Vidya. And if it is overactive, then it needs to be calmed with the factors of tranquility or samadhi or upekkha. So sati is needed all the time. Sati is compared to the salt in food. There always needs to be some salt. The salt needs to be the right amount. But without salt in food, as it's not tasty, also without sati, one can never be without sati. One has to have this all the time. And it can never be too much. So if one is able to be aware of how to bring the factors, the Bojjangas, boost them up when they need to be boosted, then one will be able to bring them into balance, and Vipassana knowledge will arise and come to completion.
Loka tutu ko boli auta machadi na ko auta chara lo be yumu sesukki ya ba la thekkan chaja ludiya lo chi thekkan chaja phichi ya ba la to thekkan chaja soda pinyata ta ussa ko re ha da thekkan chaja lo so nai ba bu pinya de ta ussa de po bi lo achin de yau ne lo shi ye ta bo sin ta nei ne ko ba pinya ta yong lak ta bi lo sao ne ye thek lo ki de di lu pi ta ko lu lo sit ta ta ko ne lu pinya shi bi lo lu thek lu chi ko ba po yi chi ba deဒါမှဘဝစင်တန်မြင့်တယ်လို့ဆိုပါတယ်။ဒါတော့ဘဝစင်တန်ညီရေးအတွက်ပြုတ်ပြုတ်နဲ့ရောရောနဲ့မကြိုးစားရင်လည်းတော့ဘယ်တော့မှမရနိုင်ပါဘူး။ကြိုးစားမှုရှိရပါတယ်။အဲဒီကြိုးစားမှုကကိုယ်နာမှလည်းမကြောက်ရဘူး။အသက်တွေမှလည်းမကြောက်ရဘူး။ကိုယ်နဲ့တဲ့ပုံမှာငက်ွက်မှုမရှိရဘူး။စွစွဆာဆာလို့ရမယ်ဒါလည်းအင်္ဂါတရားပဲအဲ့ဒါကိုပြတ်ထားပါလေကာယကြဇီဝတိကြနတ္တကတဥပ္ပထာပိတိကာယစမိမိကိုယ်ပေါ်၌၎င်းဇီဝတိစမိမိရှိတတ်နေတဲ့အသက်ပေါ်၌၎င်းနတ္တကတမငဲ့မကွက်ဖဲနဲ့ရရဆက်ဆက်စွတ်စားမှုကိုဖြစ်စေရမယ်ပြည့်စုံစေရမယ်အဲ့ဒါဆိုပါလေကိုယ်နဲ့တည်းနဲ့ကိုရစ်စစ်နေရမည်တဲ့ရစ်စစ်လုပ်ပါတဲ့စိုးစကားလုပ်ပါတဲ့
In the world, no one wants their life to decline. Most people dislike this, for their life to become low. And most people want to have a high standard of living. But education or possessions aren't what make us high quality. They aren't what make our lives high quality. If we have education and wealth, but we don't have morality, then one can't say that one's life is a high quality life or a high level life. More important than having things or having an education is to be a true human, to have a humane mentality, and to have special human knowledge. So this is what makes our life elevated and high class. So So if we don't try to bring this about, if we don't make effort in the area of developing our life in this way, then it won't happen. Effort has to be made. And in doing this, we shouldn't have any fear regarding regard for our body or our life. So this is another of the factors that brings, that helps the indriyas to become sharp. Kayecha, jivitecha, anupekatan. I think that's what it said. So this means that we shouldn't have any regard for our body when we do the practice. We shouldn't have any regard for our life. We should just have an attitude of cruel disregard for our life and limb as we do the practice. This is how we should go about meditation.
Tadipudan Samaitiyama, the Shamara, Huidu, Sapiri Liga Tideka, Ulu Tia Todo, Tiju Sura, Tiramata Sura, Mishiriva, Tinilote Yoga, the Shira, Matiato, the Shira, over corner on body, Jamai Conga, Yaipi about it. Beluchi, Budo, Boacenta, Niete, Coco, meeting Billy, a low from Yumaro. Take on data, we know, young and woo to the body, Eradonarian, Suzaya, Kuna Malanjava, 30 Malanjava, Sunsasalo, Sunsaza, Machamata, Lomnan Bama. Sweater is a Nabaya Shida. The color of the Maka of Sundara only 12 to Lucia. Now, said it was Yella. Sunzaru only 12 Lucia. Yetin at the body, Yen at the body killer of it. Edo, Uneta Namu Pene Sunza Atoku and take do about it. Edo Sunzavi Atoku Lady. Never like Jama, TV so to Sebido Punemarone, Kilia, the Naiki, Baramolo, to Mavaya Chamusu.
In the history of Satipatthana, as far as Sayadawgyi has read in the text, there is no one who has died due to the practice. And there are many cases of those with fatal diseases, with serious diseases, who have practiced and gained their health. So when we are doing something that makes our life much, much better, we can't do it in a comfortable, easy way. We have to go all out. We have to just surrender ourselves to the practice and go all out. So we can't favor our body, and we shouldn't fear death or illness in doing the practice. If we go all out and we gain something, we have a victory in some way, then we will develop courage. So we have to, it's very important for us not to have regard for life and limb as we go about doing the practice. And Sayadawgyi will explain how is it that we practice without regard for life and limb. He will explain about this tomorrow. That's all for today.